right, everybody, welcome to another NBC Game of the Week. Another Saturday afternoon, 2 o'clock Eastern, just like the old days. And we are at June the 26th, Saturday, June 26th. We're at the Astrodome in Houston, Texas for the Los Angeles Dodgers against the Houston Astros. I have the standings printed out for both leagues so you can follow along and see how the pennant races are going according to the Stratomatic computer. First, we'll start with the American League, where Boston is holding a 4.5 game lead on Milwaukee, 5 on Cleveland, 5.5 on Detroit, 6 on Baltimore, 7.5 on Toronto, and 8 on the Yankees. Notice the Yankees, despite being in last place, they are a 500 record, so kind of bunched up there. In the American League West, Kansas City, it was a lot tighter last week when Chicago played California, but now Chicago's faded back a little bit, and Kansas City and California kind of having their own little two-team race here. Kansas City leads by 2.5. Chicago's dropped all the way back to 6th, and then the bottom 4 teams are pretty much out of it, I would say, unless something dramatic happens. That's the American League. The National League, look at the East. Montreal leads the Phillies by a half game. Pittsburgh 2 games back. Cardinals grotesquely underperforming. They are 11.5 back. 3 games under 500, where they were at this point in the season in real life 9 games over. So I'm not sure if they can catch up. That's an awful long way to make up ground. But that's the way it is in the East. In the West, you got Atlanta leading the Dodgers by 5.5 and surprising Houston Astros by 7.5. So this game between LA and Houston, kind of to see who can get second place and maybe make a run at the Braves. So that's what we're looking at here on this June 26th Saturday, last Saturday in the month of June. And starting pitchers for today's game for the Astros, it'll be former Dodger Don Sutton, 13-8 with an ERA of an even 3, against Dave Stewart, 9-8, and a 3.81 ERA. We'll bring in the score sheet and go through the lineups, hopefully fairly quickly. Sachs leads off. Landros bats second. Baker hits third. Rick Mundy in the cleanup spot. Steve Garvey batting fifth. Say hits sixth. Socha seventh. Bill Russell eighth. And Stewart ninth. For the Astros, Dickie Thon leads off at short. Terry Poole second. Ray Knight third. Jose Cruz in the cleanup position. Alan Ashby catching. Phil Garner at second. Tony Scott in center. Art Howe in third. And Don Sutton batting ninth. Both pitchers using pitcher hitting card number 2 for their at-bats. All right, so I think everything is pretty much set up here. Let me do one more check. Looks like everything's copacetic. We are at the Astrodome, and Don Sutton finishing up those warm-up tosses. Steve Sachs on the on-deck circle, prepared to step in as this game of the week on June the 26th, 1982. Of course, today being June 26th, 2021. So here we go. And I believe, I didn't check the schedule. I'm trying to think of what next week's game is, and it escapes me at the moment. I will have to not worry about that right now because we're just going with this, unless it's on the back side of the score sheet. I don't know what the next game of the week is, to be honest with you, so I don't want to say because I don't know. I'll have to figure that one out. We'll have to wait and see. It could be dependent on the pennant races as well, so we'll see how that all goes and plays out. Here's Steve Sachs against Sutton. 4-10, and Sutton against a right-hander. That's a fly ball center field X, center fielder. Ken Landros only a 4, so not very good range in that spacious Astrodome outfield. See if it comes back to bite him. 4 and a 5, I'm sure, is going to drop for a hit, almost guaranteed. A 4 and a 5, actually, yes, it is a single. The D6's total amount of 9, and he is an E6. There is no 9, but it is going to be a single for Steve Sachs. He drops one in front of... Actually, I don't know why I was looking at Landro. I should have been looking at Tony Scott. That was weird. Let me redo that. Tony Scott's a 2, and that's a 5. 2 and a 5 is a flyout, so let me correct myself right off the get-go. This is not a Dodger interleague, inter-squad game, so it was, in fact, Tony Scott making that play. So, sorry, Mr. Sachs, but you don't get that base hit after all. Why is my little thingy here not working? This may not be working the way I want it. Sometimes this correction tape gets fed in there. Well, just got to be sloppy for a moment, and that's a fly to center. So there we go. Apologize for that snafu on the first at bat of the game. And now my correction tape wants to screw up on me. It was working fine yesterday. Oh well, we'll try to do it without it. Hopefully I won't make any more mistakes. We shall see, but I wouldn't count on it. All right, so Sachs is retired on the fly out. Now Ken Landreau will actually get the hit. Not have to worry about fielding so far in center field. He will hit. It's a 3-11 against Sutton. And that's a ballpark single. I forgot to mention ballpark singles are 1-8 in the Astrodome. Home runs 1-3, both lefties and righties. That is an 8, so it's a base hit for Ken Landreau on the number. So Kenny Landreau gets a base hit, and he's an excellent base stealer. In the 82 season, he stole 31 bases, caught 10 times, so he's definitely looking to get a jump. Sutton has a 0 hold, and Ashby is a +2 arm, so if Landreau can get a jump, he'd really be in good shape. He needs a 3 through 6 to get the jump. 5, he does get the jump, so Landreau's an 18. It's being held, makes him a 16, but the +2 from Ashby brings it back to an 18. 1-18, he successfully steals. And he does. So stolen base for Landreau. He's in scoring position with 1 out for Dusty Baker. Nothing on the havoc. Here's Sutton to Baker. That is a 5-10. 5-10 against Sutton. Struck him out. So that's out number 2. Big strikeout for Sutton. And that'll bring up Rick Monday. Nothing there. Sutton to Monday. 3-8 for Monday. A 1's a single, but anything else he grounds to first, and he will ground it to Ray Knight, who steps on the bag to end the inning. So single and a steal by Landreau does not lead to any runs. Dodgers come away empty-handed. Tommy Lasorda not too happy about that, but at the end of half an inning, it is the Dodgers nothing, the Astros coming to bat. And Dave Stewart finishing up those warm-up tosses. And he will be facing Dickie Thon. And if I remember correctly, I believe Bill Verdon was the manager in '82 for the Astros, but I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's Bill Verdon. Could be wrong, but I think it's Bill Verdon. All right, here is Dickie Thon. 2-5 for Thon. 1-16 is a single. That's an 8. Base hit Dickie Thon. Leadoff single. He's going to be looking to get a jump. 3 through 6 gets him a jump. That's a 5. He gets the jump. So he starts as a 19. 2 for being held makes him a 17. Nothing on Stewart. Sosha -1 makes it a 16. 1-16, and he steals it. And he does, and it's a 3, so it's a possible throwing error on Sosha. His T rating is a 7. And Sosha throws it away. So not only does Dickie Thon steal second base, he will take third on the throwing error by Sosha. And all of a sudden, Astros have a runner at third with nobody out. And here is Terry Poole. And the Dodgers, thinking they might not get a whole lot off of Sutton, they're going to play the infield in early on. Maybe too much of a gamble, I don't know, but they're going to try it. They're going to play the infield in, try to avoid a cheap run. 110, well, it won't matter. 110 here is going to be a 1-10 triple, 11-20 double. That is a double. Terry Poole clouts a double. And the Astros lead it 1-0. And Dave Stewart is off to a very shaky start. Poole will be held at second base, but he's not going to try to steal third, but he will be held. And here's Ray Knight. 5-5 on Stewart. Struck him out. He definitely needed that strikeout. Needed out of some kind. And there's one away for Jose Cruz, left fielder. Nothing on the havoc. Cruz, 6-9 against Stewart. That's trouble. 1-10 is a home run. That's a 3. He has weak power, though, so it will not be a home run because against righties, he has weak power. So that turns into a single 2 stars. It will be an RBI single, but it will not be a home run. So I guess Stewart caught a little bit of a break, but still, it's 2-0 Astros. Could have been 3-0, but it still may be 3-0. We will wait and see. Jose Cruz looking to get the jump, 2 through 7 or an 11. 6, he gets the jump, so he's going to try it. 15, -2 for being held to 13, -1 from Sosha is a 12. 1-12, he's going to try to steal it. 18, he gets caught. So one too many times with the hand in the cookie jar, and they are caught. So Cruz is out of there for out number 2. The bases are now clear for Alan Ashby. 4-9, switch hitter batting left. That's a pop-up to second base, and Sachs has it to end the inning. But the Astros put 2 on the board against the Dodgers. At the end of 1, it's Houston 2 and LA nothing. Don Sutton enjoying the run support. And Steve Garvey will lead things off. Sutton to Garvey, former teammates. 5-12, and that's a ground ball right back to Sutton. He's a 2-E7. 2 and a 4. Garvey might beat this out. 2 and a 4. Nope, it's going to be a G3. That's an 8. He's an E7. There is no 8, so Sutton was able to get to it just in time to throw Garvey out. 1 away. Brings up Ron Say, the Penguin. 1-5, and that's going to be a ballpark home run chance, but not a good one. 1-3. That's a 15, so it's just a fly to left. 2 down, and that brings up Scioscia. 2-4, and that's a 1-5 double, and that's a 4, so it's a double for Scioscia. 2-out double for Mike Scioscia. And now the interesting thing is here, you got first base open, the pitcher on deck. Do you pitch to Russell, or do you intentionally walk him and have to face the pitcher instead? Or do you take the chance of getting Russell out and have the pitcher lead off the next inning? Sutton says he knows Russell, so he's going to go after him. Well, 1's a wild pitch possibility. Nope, no wild pitch. It's blocked by Ashby. So Sutton to Russell. 6-7, ground ball, second base X. Second baseman is Garner. He's a 3-E17. 3 and a 5, that could be problematic. The runner on second was not being held, so there was no issue there. You won't lose anything off your range. 3 and a 5 for a second baseman is a G3. G3, and it's a good thing they weren't being held because that would have gotten through for a hit. So it's G3, and it's an error rating of 10, or number of 10 with the error rating of a 17. And there is no 10, so good play for Phil Garner. And that's going to end the inning. So they will make Dave Stewart lead off next inning, assuming he's still in the game. And we go to the bottom of the second, 2-0 favor of the Astros. Stewart back out. We'll be facing Phil Garner, who just made that nice play. So how often does that happen? Guy makes a nice defensive play, and he leads off the next inning. Here's Garner, 1-5, and he's going to hit a solid single. So back come the Astros. Garner looking to get a jump. They were a running team. 2 through 8, an 11 or a 12, so he's almost guaranteed to get a jump. The only way he can't is a 9 or a 10. And 8, it's going to get him a jump. So he's a 15. 13 for being held as a -2, and then -1 from Scioscia is a 12. 1-12. Same thing Cruz had last inning, was that 112, but he rolled a 18, I think, and got caught. That's a 7, so he will make it. So Phil Garner, stolen base. He's in scoring position with nobody out for Tony Scott. Garner will be held at second base. There's a 1, chance for a wild pitch, 1-4. 5 just blocked by Scioscia. Kept it in front of him. Here's Tony Scott. 2-5 for Scott, struck him out. Big strikeout there for Stewart. 1 away for Art Howe, third baseman. Nothing there. 1-9, struck him out. So Stewart comes back with 2 strikeouts. And now all he's got to do is get the pitcher. Just has to face Don Sutton, who's off pitcher hitting card number 2, to see if he can get out of this. Nothing on the Havoc. 3-9, and he does. Ground ball to first. Garvey takes to the bag himself, and Stewart gets out of the mess. So nothing doing for the Astros. They leave Garner at second base. At the end of 2, it's 2-0 Houston. And now Dave Stewart will get the bat. His pitcher hitting card number 2 to lead things off. That's by the fact they didn't walk Russell and they went after him. The fruit of that is that you get to face the pitcher. 6-10, though, they're off the pitcher's card. That's a ground ball, third base X. That is Art Howe. He's a 2E14. 2 and a 7 is good. And an E14 and an 11. There is no 11. The 2 and the 7 actually turns out to a G2, which is good enough. Nobody on base. So they retire Stewart, 1 away. Back to the top of the order for Steve Sachs. 5-7, struck him out, not tired, so strikeout stands. 2 away, and that brings up Kenny Landreau. He did single and steal a base his first time up. 5-11, that's a fly ball right field X. Right fielder for Houston is Terry Poole. He's a 2E4. 2 and 19 is good all day long. E4 and 11 should be okay. E4, nope, there's no 11. So it's a good play for Terry Poole. Innings over. We go to the bottom of the third. Still 2-0 Astros. Dave Stewart back out. Both Stewart and Sutton had, well, actually, Stewart has a fatigue of 6. Sutton has a fatigue of 8. So Sutton's looking for a complete game if he can get it. Stewart just looking to survive. Here's Dickie Thon. 3-6, and he's going to pop it up to second. Steve Sachs right there, 1 away. Here's Terry Poole. 4-7. That's a walk. First walk issued by Stewart. Poole, yeah, like all the other Astros, he's going to try to get a jump. They are a running bunch. 10, though, he can't get the jump, so he won't try to go anywhere. So he will stand pat. He will be held, but he will stand pat. Here's Ray Knight. 3-4. That's a foul out to Scioscia. Right in back of the plate. 2 down for Jose Cruz. Nothing on the Havoc. Cruz, 3-3, and that's a fly to right. Put away out there by Rick Mundy to end the inning. So things have stabilized just a bit for the Astros. It's still 2-0, but at least they've stopped the bleeding. Trying to give their offense a chance. Dodgers have not done well in the games of the week. They're 0-2 in their games of the week, losing to the Padres on the first game of the week. Even though Fernando was pitching, they lost that. And then they also lost, I'm trying to think of the other game they lost. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Was it Montreal or was it somebody else? I don't remember who the other game was. Might have been Montreal, I don't recall. All right, anyways, Dusty Baker leading things off. Top of the fourth. 2-9 for Baker, and that's a fly to center. Tony Scott right there, 1 away. Rick Monday, the batter. 2-11, and that's a single. Straight up single for Rick Mundy. He's not much of a threat to steal. He will be held, but they're not going to try to do anything about trying to steal. Havoc, nothing going on. Here's Garvey. 6-6. That is a 1-4 single, but that's a 13, so he lines it to third. Snagged over there by Art Howe. 2 down, and now it's up to the Penguin if the Dodgers are going to break through in this inning. Sutton, 4-5, and that's a ground ball to short. Easy play for Dickie Thon. He'll actually go the short way. Fielder's choice, 6-4, not that it matters. And the inning's over. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Still 2-0 Stros. Those 2 runs early are holding up. Stewart has stabilized, but not getting any run support. Alan Ashby, the catcher, steps to the plate. Switch hitter batting left, 6-8, and that's trouble for Stewart. 1-6 is a triple. That is a triple. Did Ashby have any triples? He had 2 on the regular season, so not exactly out of the question. He did have 2 triples, and there you go. There's one of them right there. Now the infield's going to have to come in again, down 2-0. They've got to cut the run off. So the infield will be in for Phil Garner, but that's a 1. Could be a wild pitch. 1-4 is a wild pitch. Stewart, nope, it's blocked by Scioscia. He's getting a workout back there, but he did block the plate. Infield is in. 2-8 for Garner. Struck him out. That'll help. 1 away. Still got the infield in as Tony Scott comes to the plate. Nothing on the Havoc. Stewart to Scott. 3-5. That is a fly ball left field B with a question mark. Now, Ashby does not run all that well. He only runs at a 10. The left fielder arm is a -1 in Dusty Baker. And on a fly ball left field B question mark, you do add 2 to the runner, which makes him a 12. But then you got the -1 there, makes him an 11. He would need a 1 to an 11 to score, 55% chance. Or he gets thrown out trying. Well, with the 2-0 lead, they're playing with house money, so they're going to send him. They're going to send Ashby and make Baker throw him out. So a 1 to an 11, and he's safe. 12 or higher, he's out. That's a 9. He's in there. Sacrifice fly works for Tony Scott. Wasn't very deep, but Baker didn't get off the best of throws, and the Astros increased the lead to 3-0. Tony Scott with the sacrifice fly. 2 outs, bases clear for Art Howe. 5-11. That's a ballpark single check, which is a 1 to 8. That's a 17, so that will be a liner to short to end the inning. But after 4 complete, it's the Astros 3, Dodgers nothing. And now you wonder about Stewart. He's coming up to bat here in this inning. He will bat third this inning, so if they got a rally potentially going, they may pinch hit for him. If his 2 out base is empty, they'll probably let him keep going. Here's Scioscia. Doubled his first trip. 4-8. This time he's not so lucky. He strikes out. 1 away. Here's Bill Russell. 2-7 for Russell. That's a one out walk to Russell. And now, what do you do if you're the Dodgers? Do you have Stewart hit down 3-0, or do you go to your pen, or go to your bench and then bring in the bullpen? Here are the bullpen guys they have available. They have Alejandro Pena, they have Steve Howe, Tom Niedenfuhr, and Terry Forster. Those are the 4 guys they have. They could ask them to cover the last 5 innings. That wouldn't be a problem. So I think they need a shot in the arm because their offense just isn't doing anything. So they're going to pull Stewart. He's going to be lifted. And they will go to the bench. And on the bench, they have the following batters that are available. Pedro Guerrero, Mark Belanger, Mike Marshall, Steve Yeager. Those are the 4 right-handed hitters. They got a switch hitter, Ron Renicky, and they got a lefty, George Orta. So it's just a matter of who they want to go to in this situation. So they're going to go to Ron Renicky. He's got a 259 average, whereas Orta's only 217. So they're going to go to switch hitter Ron Renicky. He will be pinch hitting for Stewart, and then we'll get a new pitcher in the bottom of the 5th. So Stewart's going to end up going 4 innings, giving up 3 runs. And he will have to come out. But right now, Ron Renicky to pinch hit here in the bottom of the 5th with 1 out and Russell at first. And let's check Russell. Down 3-0. He's not going to try to get, he will be held, but he won't try to get a jump. Sutton with the havoc, nothing going on. Here's Ron Renicky trying to get something started for the Dodgers. 1-8, and he does not. He strikes out. So best laid plans of mice and men. Stewart would have also struck out. Just out of curiosity, if I had done George Orta on a 1-8, he would have grounded to short for a fielder's choice. So not too much going on. Pedro Guerrero would have doubled, but I was trying to save him for later. So you never know what the roles are going to bring up. So there's 2 outs, runner at first. Steve Sachs the batter. Nothing there. Sutton to Sachs. 5-8, and that's a fly to center. Inning's over as Scott puts it away. We go to the bottom of the 5th, still 3-0 Dodgers, and we need a new pitcher for the Dodgers. Leading off for the Astros will be the pitcher, Don Sutton, followed by Thon and Poole, 2 righties and a lefty. So I don't know if it matters about righty-lefty on this or not. They're going to bring in Alejandro Pena. He was 0-2 with a 4.79 ERA. So Alejandro Pena is on to pitch for the Dodgers, and he's charged by Tommy Lasorda to try to keep the game right where it is, as Lasorda doesn't want to choke on his linguine too much more. Pena will get almost a free shot going after the pitcher Sutton as his first batter. 1-8, and that's a strikeout, so that was almost a gimme, almost a layup, so to speak. Now he's got to face the real guys. Dickie Thon stepping to the plate. 5-9, and that's a 1-2 in home run chance, but that's a 10, so that'll be a fly to left. And that's out number 2. Thon was a weak power, so he wouldn't have homered anyway. He would have just singled, but instead he flies to left for out number 2. Here is Terry Poole. 2-10 for Poole. He grounds to third, so it's a 1-2-3 inning for Alejandro Pena. Keeps the score at 3-0. And we go to the 6th. Don Sutton pretty much in charge, just kind of going through a casual Saturday afternoon here at the Dome on this June 26th blustery, or not balmy, I should say, afternoon in Houston. That's why they have the Dome, because the heat is just unbearable. But it's nice and comfortable inside the Dome. Sutton DeLandro, 5-6 against a lefty. That's damage done. 1-6 the triple, 7-20 is a single. It's only going to be a single, so only just so much damage. But Ken Landro, I think down 3-0. They're not going to try to steal. They will hold him on, of course, but he doesn't want to get caught stealing when you're down 3-0. So he's going to stay put where he is. Here's Dusty Baker. 1-8 for Baker. 1-8's a single. That's a 3. So it's a single 1-star, and maybe now the Dodgers have something going. Dodger Blue. Tommy Lasorda, just one of his coaches over there, just nudged him, told him to wake up. Team's getting some hits. So it's runners at first and second. Nobody out for Rick Monday. 2 is a chance for a balk or a pass ball. So we're checking the balk rating, which is 2 for Sutton. 12, no balks. So Rick Monday stepping up, 1-3, and that's a fly to center. 1 away. That'll bring up Steve Garvey. Nothing on the havoc. Garvey. 1-11 for Garvey. That's a ballpark single check, and that's a 1. So it will be a single. Ballpark singles are always 1 star, so it's just 1 base advancement. But now the bases are loaded with 1 out for the Penguin Ron Cey. This is the chance the Dodgers have been waiting for to get back in this game. Sutton, nothing on the havoc. Here's Cey, infield double play depth. 3-7, ground ball second base A+, but they're not in, they're regular depth, so that's a double play. That is a double play. Runners are not being held on at second base, so there's no problem there. It's just a ground ball second base A. That's a 4-6-3 double play. That only comes into play if the infield had been in. But they were halfway for the double play, and and my little stand thing just fell over on me. Let me pause the video real quick till I fix this. Okay, I apologize about that. My little holder that clamps onto the table. The screw on that clamp is just about ate up. Been trying to get by with as many times without having to buy a new one, but I think I'm going to have to get a new one because this one is just, it's so threaded, it's not really staying pat. It's like I like it. One little slightest little bump and it's going to keel over. So hopefully I can get through the rest of the game. But Ron Cey, before all that happened, ground ball second base A, 4-6-3 double play, ends the inning, and Sutton gets out of the mess. So we go to the bottom of the 6th, still 3-0 Stros. Pena back out for his second inning of relief. He does have a relief rating of 2, so they're looking to get him through this inning. He does bat third next inning, so if they can get him through the 6th inning, they'll be very happy about that. Ray Knight, 5-8, Pena. Ground ball second base X, that's Sachs. Sachs is a 2E21. 2 and a 7 is good. E21 and a 15. E21, there's a 13 and a 17, but no 15. So good play for Steve Sachs. 1 down. That'll bring up Jose Cruz. 2-5 for Cruz. That's a 1-17 single. That's an 11. 1 out single for Cruz. And let's see, do they want to... Well, Pena's a +2 hold rating, so they're going to see if they can get a jump. Keep the pedal to the metal, as they say. That's a 4. He gets the jump. 15 +2 makes him a 17. -1's a 16, being held, but -2 makes him a 14. So 1-14, he will make it. Jose Cruz steals second base. They are not satisfied with the 3-0 lead. They're looking for more. Here's Ashby against Pena. Nothing on the havoc. But the speedy Cruz at second base. 6'11", switch hitter Ashby batting left. 6'11 is a ground ball pitcher X. And he's a 1 E51, so we know he's going to get to it. It's just the E51 part's a little troubling. 1 and a 5. 1 and a 5 for a pitcher. He is a G3, so the runners are going to advance anyway to third, but the error could be costly. That's a 13, and he's an E51. And a 13 is a one-base error among many numbers that are out there. In fact, the only way you can't make an error, because E51 is the worst you can have, the only numbers you can roll to not make an error are 3, 4, 6. And that's it. If you don't roll a 3, 4, 6, it's an error. So it'll be an error, one-base error, and that'll put Cruz at third base. And it'll put Ashby at first base on the error by Pena. Dodgers won this game in real life 4-1, but they just don't seem to be working too well with that right now. All right, so Ashby he actually will not even be held on. Infield is playing double play depth because a double play from Garner gets him out of the inning. Pena, 6-3, that's a strikeout. That'll help his cause too. So there's 2 down for Tony Scott. Tony Scott, the batter, he hit a sacrifice fly his last time up. But Pena does a little bit better against righties, so they could walk Scott and pitch to Art Howe. I think that's what they're going to do. Scott was only a 239 hitter. You know what? If you get off Scott's card, he's got to get it in the 1 column to get in a hit. So we're going to go ahead and pitch to Scott, I guess. 2 is a chance for a balk or a pass ball. We're checking the balk rating, and he's an 8. He could balk a run in. 6, and he does. So Alejandro Pena just balked a run in. Didn't matter who is facing. It was a balk. And that balk has brought the run in. It is now 4-0 Stros. And Tommy Lasorda almost choked on his pasta right there. Unbelievable. Just shaking his head. Saying some words that we can't say on the air. Reminiscent of what he said about Dave Kingman, I think. All right, here is Tony Scott. 2-10 for Scott. He's going to ground to short, and that's going to end the inning. But the run comes in on the balk, and we go to the 7th inning. It's 4-0 Stros. Don Sutton large and in charge. That'll be it for Pena. He's going to go 2 innings and give up a run. And we'll get a pinch hitter for Pena when his time comes, which is the 3rd batter of the inning. So they're going to go to the bench, and it's going to be Pedro Guerrero. They're not going to mess around this time. They're going Pedro Guerrero all the way. It'll be Socha, Russell, and Guerrero due up for the Dodgers. So Pedro Guerrero is on to pinch hit. He will be hitting 3rd this inning. Right now it's Mr. Socha. 3-5 for Socha. He grounds to first. Easy play over there by Ray Knight, 1 away. Here's Bill Russell. 5-6, and that's trouble. 1-6 is a double, but that's an 18, so it's only going to be a single. Not too bad if you're Don Sutton. It's a 1-out single to Russell, and now here comes the pinch hitter, Pedro Guerrero. Russell will be held, but he won't try to go anywhere. Sutton to Guerrero. 2-4 for Guerrero, and he fouls out to Alan Ashby. That's 2 down. So Guerrero fails in the pinch. George Orta on a 2-4 wouldn't have done anything either. So I think most of the players on 2-4 would have made an out. The only one that would have, Mark Belanger would have walked, but that would have been about it. So you take your chances, use your best guy, and hope for the best. Didn't work out for the Dodgers, but what are you going to do? Here's Sachs. With 2 outs, a runner at first. 6-5. That's a ground ball shortstop X. And that is Dickie Thon. He's a 3 E21. 3 and a 4. That might sneak on the turf for a base hit. 3 and a 4. And that is a single 1-star. 6 there, but I don't believe there's an error on that. Yes, there is. 21 has a 6 as an error. So it is going to be an error. It's a single plus an error. So Russell will actually take 3rd base on that. And Sachs will take 2nd on the E6. Single plus an error. Now each team committed an error as they did in the real game. They each committed one error in the real game as well. So there you go. Second and third. 2 outs for Ken Landreau. Now Sutton trying to wiggle his way out of this jam as well. Same way he did last inning. Pitch to Landreau. 3-5. He won't do it this time. 1-10 is a triple. That's a 6. It's a 2-run triple for Ken Landreau. And all of a sudden, it's a 4-2 game. And all of a sudden, the Astro bullpen is stirring. And all of a sudden, Tommy Lasorda is stirring. He's out of his slumber. Clapping his hands, saying, "Go Blue." Sutton now getting a visit from the pitching coach to give his bullpen a little more time to warm up. They do have Frank LaCourte, a right-hander, in the pen. Actually, the 4 guys they have, Mike Lacoste, they're all right-handers. Mike Lacoste, Bert Roberge, Frank LaCourte, and the closer, Dave Smith. A little bit early for the closer here in the 7th. So if Sutton can't make it through, Frank LaCourte would take over. But they're going to give Sutton every opportunity to get this third out. Runner at third, 2 down. Here's Dusty Baker. Make sure there's no havoc, and there's not. So here's Dusty. Could tie it up with 1 swing of the bat. 112. That's a hit by pitch plus injury. So Dusty Baker, we'll see if he can continue. We'll check the injury chart and see if he can continue or whether he's going to come out of the game. And for injury, I am using this chart right here. So we're going to roll. And it's anything higher than a 4, he's got to come out of the game. And he's got to come out of the game, so Dusty Baker is going to have to exit. He is hit by the pitch, so he keeps the inning going. But we will need a pinch runner for Dusty Baker as he will be replaced. And let's check who they have in the outfield. They've already used Guerrero as a pinch hitter, so you can't use him. They do have Mike Marshall, and I guess he's the best they've got. So Mike Marshall will be coming on as a pinch runner, and then he'll stay in the game to play left field. He's a 4, a +1, and an E7, so much worse than Dusty Baker, but they don't really have a whole lot of choices here. Mike Marshall is on to pinch run, so he's at first, and Ken Landreau is at third, so runners at the corners, 2 down, and Rick Mundy, the batter. Tight times here for Sutton. The lead has been cut to 4-2. Nothing on the havoc. Here's Mundy. 4-8. 4-8. Struck him out. He's not tired yet because we're not in the 8th inning. And he's given up less than 3 runs. Or, 5 runs, I should say. So that strikeout will stand, and that's the end of the inning. The Dodgers do score 2. Cut the lead to 4-2, and we're going to the 7th inning stretch here at the Astrodome, Sing your take me out to the ball games, and the Dodgers will need a new pitcher as Pena got pinch hit for, so go to the Dodgers bullpen. They have 2 lefties, Forster and Howe, and a righty in Niedenfuhr. Coming up for the Astros, it'll be Howe, potentially a pinch hitter for Sutton, and Thon, all righties. So it looks like we could see Niedenfuhr, and that's who we're going to see. We're going to see Tom Niedenfuhr, the right-hander. He was 3-4 with a 2.71 ERA and 9 saves in the 82 campaign. So Tom Niedenfuhr will be on. Sutton, I think, will stay in the game. I think they're going to trust him to go into the 8th inning with a lead. He's a veteran, so you're not going to just jerk him out on the first sign of trouble. So he will stay in, I do believe. Art Howe will lead things off against Mr. Niedenfuhr. 1-4, that's a ground ball to third, and that's a injury check. So maybe Art Howe is dinged up. So let's check Art Howe's injury. Again, it's a 1-4. It's the only way he can stay in the game, or else he has to come out. And that's a 20. He's definitely got to come out. So Art Howe not only grounds out, but to add literal injury to the insult, he's got to come out. So we need a new third baseman, and the Astros have plenty on the bench, and they will go to third baseman. Let's see how they want to play this. They've got a couple choices. You've got Kiko Garcia, who's not very good. You do have Craig Reynolds. And Craig Reynolds can also play short, but I think you're going to leave him at third base. He's a 3E31. Don't want to put him at short with a 4. So coming in now for the injured Art Howe is Craig Reynolds. He will come in and play short in the 8th inning. And his error rating is a 3E31. So Reynolds is the new third baseman going forward, thanks to the injury. Don Sutton against Nienfuhr, 4-9, and that's a walk. How about that? Don Sutton coaxes a walk from the pitcher, Tom Nienfuhr. And talk about Lasorda being a little ticked off. You can imagine walking the pitcher is not something he would be in favor of. So nothing on the Havoc. Here's Dickie Thon. 3-9 for Thon. That's a ground ball to shortstop beat. It's a fielder's choice, 6-4. But now Thon is the new runner, and he's definitely a threat to steal. 3 through 6 gets him a jump. Nienfuhr is a +3 hold. That's a 5, so he gets the jump. He's a 19, plus the 3 is a 22. Scioscia's a -1 is a 21, and being held makes him a 19 with the -2 there. So 1 to 19, anything other than a 20, he is safe. And that's 12, so he's in there, stolen base, his second stolen base of the game. He's in scoring position with 2 down for Terry Poole. And they will hold him on second base to try to keep him from getting a big jump to score on a base hit. Terry Poole, the batter. Now, do you pitch to Terry Poole or with Nienfuhr, or do you bring in the bullpen? Tough call here. You know what? With Terry Poole up, they're gonna pull Nienfuhr. They're gonna make the move to the bullpen and bring in Terry Forster. Left-hander Terry Forster, 5-6, 3.04 ERA and 3 saves. So Terry Forster comes in, try to get this final out. Nienfuhr goes 2/3 of an inning, and now Terry Forster is in. Now the only man left in the bullpen for the Dodgers, barring an emergency usage, is the closer, Steve Howe. Right now, Terry Forster, lefty on lefty with Terry Poole. Nothing on the Havoc. Lefty on lefty for Terry Poole. 2-9, ground ball back to Forster, and that's going to end the inning. So nothing doing there. We go to the 8th, it's still 4-2 Houston. So it would look like a Houston blowout now is all of a sudden a little bit more interesting. This is Don Sutton's fatigue inning. And now, since we're in the 8th inning, Dave Smith is the one loosening the bullpen. They have set LaCourty down. But the closer, Dave Smith, is loosening. He is the closer, and of course, 2 innings to close in 1982 was not exactly a rarity. So he will be in. He will be in the bullpen, rather, just in case Sutton falters. Right now, here's Steve Garvey. 6-5, and that's a ground ball shortstop X. That is the Dickie Thon, 3E21. 3-7, that's a good play. E21 and a 9. I don't think that's a problem. E21, there is no 9, it's a 6, 15, and 17. And a 3-7 is a G3, which is good enough. So good play. As Garvey is retired, that will bring up Ron Say, the Penguin. 6-11, that's a fly to right. Put away out there by Terry Poole, 2 down. Here's Scioscia. That's a 3-7 for Scioscia, and he's going to fly it to center field. Tony Scott puts it away. The inning's over. We go to the bottom of the 8th, and Sutton may very well try to finish this game. We shall see. Terry Forster back out. Will be facing Knight, Cruz, and Ashby. Righty, lefty, and a switch against Terry Forster. 4-2 Astros, bottom of the 8th. Here's Ray Knight. 4-4. Ground ball third base, X. That is Ron Say. He's a 4E18. 4-2. That's going to get through him for a base hit down the line. That'll be extra bases, or will it? No, 4-2 is actually just a single. Just a single. So let's see here. That is a 13, and he is an E18. There is no 13s with 11, 15, 16, and 17, but no 13. So it is a base hit by Knight, but the left fielder, the new left fielder, Mike Marshall, cut that off and will hold Knight to a single. Knight will be held on, but he's no threat to go anywhere. For Jose Cruz, another lefty on lefty matchup. Forster, 6'10". That's a ballpark single check. That's a 4. 1-8 is your single, so that's a single off the ballpark card. And the Astros had their first 2 on with nobody out for Alan Ashby. Forster running into issues. Here's Ashby. Turn around and bat right-handed this time. 2-10 against the lefty. That's a ballpark home run chance. 1-3 is a home run. That's a home run. And he does have normal power against lefties, so that is gone. That is a 3. It's a little bit, the numbers kind of got faded off there, but that is a 3. And the ballpark home run is a 3. It is gone. And the Astros just blown this game wide, wide open. Terry Forster couldn't get it done. 3-run homer. 3-run homer. And now he's tired, but they're just going to leave him out there. They're not going to burn Steve Howe. They're going to say, you've got yourself in this mess, you get yourself out of it. Tommy Lasorda has turned his back on him. Garner, 3-8. And that's more damage done against the lefty. 1-11 is a triple. So there's a triple for Phil Garner. And the slaughter continues. Infield will lay back because 1 run doesn't really make any difference at this point. Nothing there. 2-10 for Tony Scott against the lefty. It's a ground ball second base C, and that will bring the run home. 4th run of the inning, but at least now the bases are empty. But now the score is 8-2. It's pretty much over at 7-2 at that point, so 8-2 is really not that much of a difference. Here's Craig Reynolds. First at bat since taking over for the injured Art Howe. That's Suadice, so we'll re-roll that. 3-7 for Reynolds, and that's a fly to center. 2 down. And that will send up the pitcher, Don Sutton. And you know what? They're going to go ahead and pull Sutton and give him the rest of the game off. And they won't even use Dave Smith. They'll go to somebody else out of the pen because it's no longer a save situation. So they will pull Sutton and go to a pinch hitter. And the pinch hitter will be right-hander. They don't have many good right-handers on the bench, that's for sure. And they'll go with, not that it matters, they'll go to Kiko Garcia. Kiko Garcia will pinch hit for Sutton. So Sutton goes 8 innings and certainly will qualify for the win. And we'll figure out who the pitcher is going to be in the 9th. And now we're looking at Kiko, pinch hitting, 2 outs, bases clear against Terry Forster. 4-12 against a right-hander, fly to center, and that's going to end the inning. So inning's over, but 4 runs come in. It is now 8-2 as we go to the 9th. And the Dodgers have pretty much mailed this thing in. Lasorda doesn't seem to be too interested anymore. Bert Roberge will come in to finish things off. He is 1-2, 4.21 ERA and 3 saves. And so the Astros will looking to gain a game on those Dodgers. And looking back at the standings again, with the win, Houston will pull within 1 game of LA. So creeping up towards second place. For the Dodgers, it'll be Russell, a pinch hitter for Forster, and then Steve Sachs. So on the bench for the Dodgers, the remaining pinch hitters. Let's see who they're going to go to. They're going to go to George Orta. I guess it's the best they've got. So it's Bill Russell, George Orta, and Steve Sachs. In that order. George Orta. Right at the end of his career, or close to the end of his career. All right, here is Roberge to Russell. 8-2, Astros. 2-8. 2-8 for Russell. Grounds it back to Roberge. 1 down. That'll bring up the pinch hitter, George Orta. He's got a pretty good column 3, not much else. 4-5, that's against the pitcher. That's a strikeout, so it really didn't matter at this point. 2 down, and we're down to our final play, Steve Sachs. 4-8, and that's a single off for Baird, so Sachs says, I'm not going to be the last out. And in fact, they play behind him, so he will take second base on defensive indifference. So Sachs is at second base with 2 down for Mike Marshall. Nothing on the havoc. Here's Marshall. I'm sorry, it's Landreau, not Marshall. Got him out of order. Landreau. Marshall's on deck. Landreau's the batter. He is 3 for 4, 2 singles and a triple. 3-5, and he's going to do it again. 13 is a double. That's an RBI double. Sachs will score. Cuts the lead to just 8-3. So he ended up being a home run away from a cycle. Does cut the lead to 8-3. Still a long, arduous task to go. And here's Mike Marshall. Came in for the injured Dusty Baker. Gets his first at bat. That's a 3-7, and that's a single to left, but it's a clutch. And since the runner's in scoring position with 2 outs, that clutch turns into an out. So he will pop it to short, and the ball game is over as Marshall fails in the clutch. Final score, 8-3 Astros. We'll do the totals very quickly and get this thing wrapped up from the dome. For the Dodgers, see how many hits they had. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 hits for the Dodgers. 3, 11, and 1. For the Astros, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 hits for the Astros. So, despite winning the game in real life 4-1, the Dodgers fall to the Astros 8-3. 8 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error for Houston. 3 runs, 11 hits, and 1 error for the Dodgers. Winning pitcher Don Sutton. Losing pitcher Dave Stewart. So that's going to do it for the game of the week here from the Astrodome. And like I said, I thought I had written down what the next game was going to be, but now for some reason it has escaped me. And so I'm not sure what the next game of the week is going to be quite honest with you. I thought I had it in memory, but obviously I did not. So we'll wait and see what it's going to be. It'll be on the July, I guess it's July the 3rd, maybe? I'll double check the schedule. But anyway, this game is in the books. National League. Had a couple American League games in a row, so I thought a National League game would be good, and I believe this was the game of the week in real life anyway. But I will be altering some of the schedules based on the need of the pennant race, how they're doing with the pennant race. So I may end up playing some games that weren't games of the week just so I could put the better teams on there for the pennant race. But here we go from the Astrodome. Final score, Astros 8, Dodgers 3. Tom Lasorda, not a happy man. We'll go back, have some more pasta and some wine, and try to forget about it. Let's do it from here. Till next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. And I will see you all down the road.